Hi there, welcome to this video. In this video I will give an introduction to MoonLight. And maybe you ask yourself, MoonLight? What is that? Well, MoonLight is open source software to control LEDs, but also stage or theater lights. So in this video I'm going to tell you what it is and why you should use it. So you can see MoonLight in action behind me. So MoonLight is not running on a PC or a laptop or a tablet, but it runs on a microcontroller, which is a very small electronic device, which costs only between like 5 and 25 euros. So I have a very small example here. And another example is this one. So these devices are connected to your home network, which allows MoonLight to be controlled via a web browser. So what you see behind me, that is the web browser where MoonLight is running in. So MoonLight can drive more than 10,000 LEDs or more than hundreds of theater lights on only one of these controllers at very high speed. So it is small and cheap, but also very powerful at the same time. But yeah, this has been done before. For example, WLED, Fast LED, Night Driver, Pixel Blaze, to mention a few. They also control LEDs via a microcontroller. So why another tool like MoonLight? Well, actually, I worked as a WLED developer since 21, and I was busy with adding 2D effects and also functionality to display these on 2D matrix panels. But a few years ago, I hit the limits, and on the MoonLight website, I describe these limits in more detail. So see the link below in the notes of this video for a link to that. So I decided to build a new tool from scratch, which I first called StarMod, based on a user mod concept of WLED. But other names later were Starbase, Starlight, and now it is called MoonLight. And yeah, to complicate matters, MoonLight contains Moonbase. So what makes MoonLight unique? The other tools I mentioned are also small, cheap, and powerful. So what does MoonLight add? So first of all, newest technologies. It uses the latest libraries to get most out of these small microcontrollers. And it supports concepts like stateful services, event sockets, subscribe mechanisms, and also has Moonbase modules and Moonbase nodes. More on that in another video. And it has a modern user interface using a modern reactive framework called Svelte, which has a very small footprint, making it suitable for microcontrollers. So yeah, these things I just mentioned, technical stuff. In a separate video, I will explain that in more detail. So another thing is that MoonLight not only supports LEDs, but also stage or theater lights. So yeah, MoonLight is aimed at end users. For example, home users like we all are, but also for artists and theater or stage technicians, so the people who control lights at shows. So that means you can connect LEDs directly to it, but also DMX lights via ArtNet, like RGBW par lights, moving heads, light bars, and so on. So the aim is to make everything so plug and play as possible, to have functional documentation, which can directly be accessed if you run MoonLight, but also make videos explaining things like this one. So this end user focus, that is a guiding principle, but it is also work in progress. So furthermore, MoonLight has 3D support from the ground, what means it supports 3D effects, but also 3D light layouts. So you can say first we had LED strips, later we had matrices, but now in MoonLight you can also have spheres or cubes. So that makes it especially interesting for art installations. So yeah, MoonLight of course supports also 1D or 2D, but that is regarded as 3D, where some of the dimensions have a width of 1. So you can see in the screen behind me there are 3D examples included as well. So yeah, MoonLight has a smart mapping system. That means that you define a light layout by defining the positions of lights in that layout in a 3D space. So that means any light setup is possible, not only matrices, but anything. So what MoonLight does is it creates a mapping internally. So there are a few things, but there is also a lot I didn't mention. For example, layers. There are live scripts, presets, the virtual driver, channels, and also Moonbase as a starting point for any IoT project. Again, topics for another video. So I started MoonLight mainly as a solo project, but yeah, I used a number of great libraries, and I also had a lot of help from others. So these libraries and the others are listed in the end credits of this video. But yeah, I set this up as a community project. So it is on GitHub, it's open source, it's on Discord. So it is really appreciated if you want to help with it. So for that, I will create more video tutorials. For instance, also explaining how you add a new effect in MoonLight, which is pretty simple. And furthermore, the plug and play solution I talked about. So if you want to help with hardware design or 3D printed enclosures, you're more than welcome. And we have new IDs. These IDs will also be listed in the credits. So yeah, contact us on Discord or leave a comment in this video if you want to help. And if you think, okay, I want to play with MoonLight, there is a video how you can install it. And I will work on more videos. So yeah, you know the drill. Like and subscribe this video and you will be notified when there are new ones. So thanks for watching. Bye bye.